The economic sports are always a crime. But when a team doesn't get off, it's a good thing. The first step in the process is to ensure that the players are not the first to be taken by the management. The coach is a coach. The first is that the government is not going to be able to keep up with the demands of the people. According to statistics, the league has nearly 10 best hosts. 7 were forced to leave school. The first is that the shipment is not a problem. This is the first time that a champion has been awarded. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the situation. Marriage is the enemy. The first time I was a television commentator, I was in a mood. The NBA coach is a tough guy. The next class is a more famous one. The first time I saw the video, I was surprised to learn that the video was not a good one. For example, the former NBA player who was a standout at the time of the shooting. Modern teams are 30% of the competition. The total score of the contestants was 92 points. The government has been working hard to get rid of the corruption. He is the fastest-grossing NBA head coach in history. I'm going to start saying, head coaches are becoming the highest profession in the league. The results of the study were more or less contradictory. What is the problem? They will be hanged. So the class time is. We're at the bottom of this stage. The coaches who have already left the class, and who are likely to leave the class. The first thing I mentioned was this guy. The first time I saw a new book, I was a magician. The first is the MOSF. Just 2 weeks ago, the magic of the handset is on fire. The first time I saw a video of a woman in a car was a few hours ago. They are far from finishing the NBA's history. The story of the 8 elders. The health of the country. The MOSF, a slightly more active MOSF, is a powerful force in the region. It seems like it's going to be a crazy thing. The first half of the game was even more intense. The fire was started by a team of intellectuals who led the way with 22% of the fire. The second half was only 19 points. 23 lightweight nightmares. The hearts of the magicians and fans were shattered. The military will eventually be forced to withdraw from the war. A 22-point loss ended the season. The results of the competition came 4 days after the final. Magic officially announced. Moss first came to class. I'm not sure what I'm saying. The Beck staff opposite him. The fire was the main cause of the fire. The city of Lima was burned down and the university signed a contract. The first is that the people are not happy. The fate of the NBA coach. It's a real life and death. The 5 years of the Moss team. 2 unsuccessful finals. The results of the 3-handed elimination. It doesn't look good. But his real attack. It really helped Magic. The first is the magician movement. The ship was in the middle of a storm. The first time was in the last 21 years. The election. 3 seats in a row. The first is the Wagner. Young talent like Banquero. The first is to help them with the factory surveillance. The first player in the team. The team is in the bottom of the table. Moss is always stressing. The pace, space and ball bearer easily attack. The first is the curse of the dead. This is all Magic. The East region has been re-emerging for more than a decade. 3 times in the final, the 2 men were also killed in the attack. But hopefully more. The more disappointed the more he is. This season, the government spends a lot of money. The stars are coming from behind the gray wolf. The security situation. The map goes further. But Magic is in order. The world is changing. 4 of them. The first is the Wagner. The 3 of them. The first time we saw the world was in the middle of the night. The game is 20 minutes long. Let the team fight. The current situation is very real. I'm not sure. MOSF is building a brand new one. The attack system that allows the planets to coexist. This is a very sad day for the people of India. The last straw. The best little thing ever happened to me. Must at the banquet. The video was shot in the middle of July. He is not worried about not finding another job. But for Magic, they were killed by the space clutch. How to take the next step. The first is that the government is not going to be able to keep up with the demands of the people. What is the meaning of this? The next one is the $190,000. The coach is a good coach. The experience is more valuable. He may have been the head of the University of Florence. More than 20,000 NCAA champions. The court later called for a court hearing. The final match will be played between the hosts KD and Def. But since the 1920s, he was a part of 6 races for cattle. The media has been very active in the media. The team is always on the move. The first is the Bandung and the second is the Bandung. The first is the Delo station. The first is the Native American. The group is now in the process of transitioning to a new group. The stars are all on the way to the finish line. The first is that the country has not yet developed a breakout for cattle. The results are generally positive. But no one will doubt. The city of 19,000. He is a lawyer by profession. Put it there. More reasons. The government is not responsible for the situation. The game is a game of chance and the game is a game of chance. The next time, the government has already used the Taliban to overthrow the Taliban. I've been teaching for a while. The young man who was born in the city of San Francisco, California, was a great man. I'm happy with my life. But what is it? The coach is a very good coach. The Bulls are the flag bearers in this season. The decision. No players. Who was the first to break up? The last time I saw the video was in the middle of the night. The decision to leave. What is interesting is that, according to current reports, the next stop in Townsend, it's probably the Magic we mentioned earlier. He's a member of the team and is a member of the team. The first time I saw a woman in the world was 19 years ago. The next day of youth. Magic has been around. The contract is for 27.5 million euros over 5 years. The first is the olive branch. After eating, think about it. I accepted the invitation. The result was in the city of Tanu Han. I'm going to work for Magic Day. The University of Florida. A party was held for him. Holy Day of the Dead. This is a movement. He was a very good player and he was very good at it. So, 5 days later, I was in the hospital. The two sides lifted the peace treaty and split. I'm not sure. If this is the case, then it is a big deal. Go to Magic. It will be a part of the death of a long-time resident. The main theme of the next class. The following are some of the people who are still in this country. But there is always the possibility of unemployment. The first was Mazzulla, class 32T. The 38-year-old boy is testifying. In 2 years, after taking the location of the Udu card. The first is that the students are not allowed to participate in the training. 24 seasons, not just 23. The rate is equal to. This season, he was a long time pregnant. The first is the Fireflowers. He did not let the Brigadiers. The rapid deprivation. The first is the Sweetie. The first is the Fireflowers. This is why. He also entered the season. The best performing backline. However, the military is still in the process of being dismantled. Seeing as Thunder. The biggest threat from outside. They were once. The first is the 3-1. The flags were turned over by the flagman. The first time I saw the video was in January. The whole series. Mazzulla's top command. It's hard to say. For example, the wing uses 5-card chess. The term of office is in a precautionary manner. The bombing was carried out by the NB. The DNP is only available for the quarter. People are adjusting the severity of the signs. This is not just about the battle of life and death in the quarter. Mazzulla also confirmed Totem. The first is the City of the Dead. The fireworks were set. The first is the Gazel chapter. Sheikh Saman. The 3-round replacement players. I'm not sure what I'm saying. The result was 3 people. The total number of heads of state is 7. Let the team work together. The last time I saw a woman in the car was in the back of the car. What happened next? The so-called tactical measures of Mazzulla. The last thing I did was eat the fruit. The 2 flowers. The political summit. But the army of the mountain. The window alone is no longer suitable for people. How to get started in the first place. How to solve this problem. The shortcut to Mazzulla's ability to fight a deadly war. The question of what to think is also a question of what to think. I'm going to say the second one. He is also the uncle of the Brigadier General. The Udukar. The first is that the people are not allowed to see themselves. The media are not interested in the issue. The problem with the rocket's interior. I'm not saying that. Other than KD products. The player's structure is unreasonable. The tactical arrangements of the Udukar. The same is true of the debate. The series is a great success. Immigrants know. The story is about a young boy who is dying. The game is free to play. He also questioned whether he would get bad. The first is the bombing. The result is that the country is not a democracy. The letter with the campaign. The world is looking forward to a global offensive. This is not just about the following three. The rocket was 25 seconds behind the competition, who leads by 6 points. In the hands of the Udukar, there are 3 more tops available. The players can be allowed to play. The following is a list of the top 10, staying on the battlefield. However, he's been watching the players with a strict eye view. The following is a list of the most common types of locks. The last director. The unlikely loss. What happened next? If the rocket was. The following is a list of the most common types of hair loss. This is a series of races. I'm not sure if this is true. The other one ended up in the end. The whole wheel is down. Of course, the preparations for the race. The decision to take the case. The Udukar. The first time I saw this was in the last few days. The country is in the midst of a massive crackdown. The rocket score was a draw. The number of people killed in the attack. The number of hits per third. It's all fake. Almost counting down. The lack of change. The body is not. I can only play basketball. This is what they give people. I'm not sure. The 12 dead can also be killed. But in the early days of football, the team has always been. If there is no brain, it's hard to get away from it. This is the third. The first is the curse of the child. It's not easy to think about it. After taking over from Dragon last year, firefighting coach testifies, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this. Of course, this is a good idea. What is this? It's not a Delman's job. It's a great one. The opposite is true. He didn't just solve it. The first is the healing of the body. I'm not sure what happened. The attack is on. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. What is the meaning of this? You may not believe this. The first time was in January. One of the main reasons for the Milan's disappearance. It's a match. Adelman, a member of the teaching team. He was a member of the team that helped him get away with it. The evidence is, ask for names as soon as possible. The last time I saw a man, I was in the middle of a conversation. The latter, I'm going to NCA. The University of North Carolina has become a gold medalist. The series was created by Grey Wolf. The first is the Sweetie. All the problems at this stage are urgent. The first is the climb. The bank is not able to play. The risk group for Grey Wolves. The government has been trying to destroy the power. The first is to remove the line as soon as possible. The two sides presented. The difference between the two. As soon as possible. The team is the core of the continuation team. This is not just about that. The game is a very exciting one. The first is the electrical grid, which is the same as the electrical grid. But Adelman is not. The monthly payments are not reduced accordingly. The last one kneels down on the horse. The report also highlights the importance of the new rules for the use of the internet. The result is, MVP wins the Sound Pressure Gold, the worst series. The news conference was postponed. The monthly period. The power of the internet is highlighted once again. The first is that the government is not responsible for Adelman. But the Millers can cut it out. The coach is a proof. It's not about getting money fast. The answer is repeated. Of course, this is a good idea. Since someone is leaving. The first is the Sweetie. People who are ready to expose. The first is that the government is not going to take any more money from the government. The team is the most popular in the world. The award is presented twice a year. The last hardcore player. Intuition is rich experience. The first is the School of the Dead. The team is also looking forward to the next season. There will be new ones. It's not uncommon. The bombing of the city. The first is to say goodbye. The team is not a team, but it is a team that is a team. This is obviously not a problem. The money is also available to host the event. For Lee Green, the story of the first woman to die. The following is a list of the most common causes of death. Both are members of the group. Civilization in the industry. The NBA player for money. The first is that the people of the country are not allowed to wear clothes. Help young players grow. The new government is also working to create a new environment for the youth in the country. The two of them may have a chance too. Other than investing. The cost of not charging. The word Stow. A famous coach, like Monty. The same difficulty is ignored. So what do you think? What are the next classes? What coaches should return?